Okay, so we are going to see what is the difference between virtual machine and containers, Docker introduction, basic commands, and then we will go for the live demo. Okay, so basically this is what we are going to do. So there will be one admin person, who operation person, who is having code in the Azure repository. The Azure repository is holding application code as well as the infrastructure code. Okay, and as soon as the pull request or merge request happen in the repository, the pipeline will get triggered. The pipeline for the pull request, the pipeline will build the Docker image and push to the Docker. Container registry, Azure container registry. Okay, and then for the merge request, the Terraform will get called, and that will deploy the it will pull the image from the container registry, and it will deploy that application to the container app. It will create the container on the container app service in the Azure service. Once that is done, user should be able to access the application through the web browser. Okay, that is what we are going to see today. So before entering into the specific architecture or specific use case, first we need to understand what is Docker, right? So I hope you guys already knows what is virtual machine, right? So virtual machine is something like which will be running on top of some hypervisor OS, right? So there will be some specific host server which is having the large amount of resources such as memory and hard disk or storage or CPU, those many stuff. On top of that, we have specific OS called hypervisor OS. It may be ESX, or it may be Citrix Zen, or it may be no Hyper-V, whatever it is, right? On top of that, we will create a virtual machine which is having the guest OS. It's like a machine, all right? So we can create virtual machine how many resource we are having in the hypervisor, right? The Docker is also same, right? So but for the Docker, on top of the host machine, we will have an operating system. The operating system, it may be Linux or Windows or Mac, whatever it is. On top of that, we are going to have one container software that is called a Docker software. So this Docker software, this container software will be acting as a hypervisor here. For the virtual machine, it is acting as a hypervisor, right? Like that, the container software will be acting as a hypervisor for us. On top of the container software or Docker software, we are going to run the container. So container is nothing but like a VM only, but it is a lightweight VM. We are wrapping everything. We are wrapping, no, but with the lightweight OS with our application, so that this container can consume only the limited amount of resource. For example, if application wants to run on some uh, like uh, like zero point 0.5 GB memory and like few amount of CPU, then only it will contain only those amount of no resource. But here, if you go here, the virtual machine, while creating virtual machine itself, you have to allot all the memory or CPU or hard disk, whatever it is, right? But for the content, it's not like that. It is also in the virtual machine, you need to have the guest OS. The guest OS itself, it will occupy a lot of space, right? Okay, any doubt? I think I got some interruption. Are we good to go? I hope. Yeah, I think two guys are joined now. Okay, stop me if you have any doubt. Okay, so container is nothing but it's lightweight OS, which is having the light operating system, lightweight virtual machine. It's contained light OS with the specific application. Okay, only the needed resource will be allotted. Only the needed configuration will be allotted to this specific container, so that we can run n number of container on the specific host machine, right? Also, it is very easy to create the container easily. We can just in a single command we can create it, right? So there are many advantages we are having. So before that, let me know whoever knows Docker already, or everyone is new to Docker.
You too, doctor.
Okay, okay, fine then. Okay. So let me repeat again. Virtual machine will hold the guest OS. Guest OS itself will occupy lot of spaces, right? Suppose if you want to, let me go to this diagram. See here, if see this virtual machine architecture, on the top of host machine, on top of hypervisor, if you want to run any one application, definitely to run any application that needs platform which contains OS, right? So we have to deploy a virtual machine which is having the operating system. On top of the operating system we have to deploy our application, right? But this single virtual machine itself taking a lot of resources, right? So again, if you want to deploy another application, again you need to go for another virtual machine, right? So also it is very difficult to, it's not very difficult, but comparatively Docker, it is bit difficult to know create the new virtual machine if you face any issues, right? But if you go for Docker, on top of the operating system there will be one Docker application will be run, Docker software will be run, that is called container application. On top of that we can run n number of Docker containers. For example, for if you want to run any Python application, for running Python application, what is need? Just a lightweight OS which contains Python software, that's it, nothing else, right? If you go for operating system, it will contain a n number of things like for example, let me show you. See, I'm just running my Ubuntu vision. For this I'm having calculator and application, Acrobat reader, micro. There are so many things I'm having on my guest OS, I mean, yeah, my guest OS, right? But if you go for container, right, if you go for Docker container, it will contain only what is needed, that's it. That is a major advantage we are having the Docker container. Okay. Also we can easily, let's assume there is some problem with the container now. What we can do, we can just simply destroy it and create new. That's is simple, the job is done. Okay. That is what we are going to see it now. Okay. Any doubt till now? Whoever
Fine.
joined late, right? Just this is the architecture we are going to see it today. Okay. So we are going to deploy our images to Azure Container Registry and going to deploy into the Azure Container app using Azure pipeline. For the pull request, it will build the image, but for the merge request, it will deploy the container by pulling image from this container registry. That I will explain you in detail one by one. But for now, do you have any doubt on the comparison of Docker and virtual machine? Okay. While no, so while working on the Docker, you will have many doubts. Then we will clarify that. See, this is the architecture of Docker. So Docker will work on the. I mean, we have a lot of Docker commands. Okay. So we have to run many commands. I mean, the needed command to work on the Docker. For that, these are the very important command: Docker build, Docker push, Docker pull, Docker run. These are the important command, and these are the majorly used command. Okay. So here what will happen, the first step is, first we have to build the image. So what is the Docker image? So in the virtual machine, in the VMware, we have called a template, right? What is template in VMware? What is VM template? Can anyone tell me? No one. No one knows what is VMware template. VM template in VMware or Hyper-V?
No.
No. Oh God. Okay. Okay, fine. See, template in the sense you are just okay. Do you know there is one concept in older days. What is that? Ghost OS. It is nothing yet. We are just wrapping everything, and we are making as a template, so that from the template we can create a new virtual machine. For example, but you guys know how to create a virtual machine in the VMware, right? At least, I hope. Yes. No.
Yes.
Okay. So once we create the virtual machine, and we can install all, we can configure the virtual machine, or we can hardening the OS, and we can install all the agents, and we can install all the needed applications, the basic applications. After that, we can create that virtual machine as a template. Template is nothing but it's kind of we are wrapping it everything, and just storing it as a image actually. So what will happen if you want to create the same virtual machine again? What you can do? You can just create virtual machine from the image, from the template, so that you can have all the application, all the agents,
It's
everything
kind of
will
a
be.
bundle, right? So I mean,
It's
Windows
kind
you
of
call it a
bundle.
bundle.
Let me show you right away here, right? In the Azure, I forgot. This is easy explanation for this also. See, if you are creating a virtual machine here in the cloud, right? So, see what you are choosing here. Image. What is image means? What it is?
The OS file.
The OS file. The OS file is nothing but it is like it is an image which is having the OS and other stuff, right? Previously what we do, we put the CD, or we will map the OS CD, and we will install step by step everything, right? But nowadays that's not needed. We can just do everything, and just make it as a bundle, or make it as an image which is containing everything, right? See what it is. Oracle Linux, what it is? It is an image. So what happening, they build the Linux machine. On top of the Linux machine they have installed Oracle. So what will happen if I choose this image, and if I deploy the virtual machine, the new machine will get created using this image. So as soon as I have the virtual machine, I will have the Oracle. Am I right? Because the Oracle is already pre-installed, or the template pre-installed, or the image. Am I right? Are you getting me?
Yeah, sir.
That is called image, right? So the same thing, the same concept in Docker as well, right? See, if you know any one technology very clearly on the basic stuff, you can know, you can learn anything very easily. See here. So first we have to build the image, right? I will show you the Docker file. So using the Docker file will contain everything. What are the content, and what will be the base OS, and what should be on the image. Everything will be on the Docker file. So using Docker file, we have to build it. So once we build it, see the first step, right? So that is a Docker daemon. That is the service will be running on the Docker system, right? So that this specific Docker daemon will build the image, and that image will be running on the Docker host. Okay. So in our example, the client and host will be the same. Okay. So let's consider client and host will be the same. We are running all the command on the Docker host. Okay. So as soon as we run the Docker build command, it will create the image. Okay. And then after creating the image, we can push the image to the, okay, 3 4. Okay. And then we if you do the Docker push, this Docker push will store the image on the specific registry. So do you know what is GitHub? Why we are using GitHub? Storing our code.
Code.
Do you know why we are using Artifact, Azure Artifact? To store our packages. The same way, there is something called Docker Hub, and then we have container registry. If you go for AWS, we have container, Amazon ECR. Easier again, that is a content registry there. He in Azure it is ACR, in Google, sorry, in AWS that is ECR. If you go for Google, that is uh, GCR, Google Content Registry. So these are storing the Docker images, right? So there we will store our images, so that Whoever want the image, they can pull and they can work on it. Okay, after pushing the image to the registry, whoever want it, they can pull it and they can run it. I will show you in detail one by one. Okay, well, let's wait for it. So this is what I told Docker Hub. So Docker Hub is the public repository which is maintained by the Docker, right? Let me try to show you the images. Maybe see here. These are the images actually. Maybe let me search for, where is the search button? Okay. Let me search for Ubuntu. See, this is the Docker image, Docker official image. It is maintained by Docker, right? So this is the Docker hub actually. Okay. Docker hub where we are storing our images. Okay, suppose if you want to pull this image, you can use this command docker pull ubuntu, then this image will be pulled to your local machine. After pulling the image, you can create the container out of image, like how we are creating a virtual machine out of template, right? Like that we can create container from this image. Okay, like that you can find out many images here. If you go for windows, you may find so many images. See, these are all images. Okay, like that we can have in Azure the container registry is for storing the images, storing the Docker images, right? So what we are going to do, we are going to store our images here only. Okay, here we are going to store it. One second guys, let me close this off. Okay, fine. So now, so you guys, now you understand what is Docker Hub, what is container registry. Just you know it what it is, right? It is just storing for the images. I will show you how to store the images and all. Okay, let's talk about the Docker file. Okay, so this is a repository we are having, and the application folder is having the application code along with the Docker file, and the infrastructure folder is having our Terraform code to create our infrastructure. Okay, so this is a Docker file we are having it. The file name should be D, should be capital, and Docker file, this is the file name we should be maintained. Okay, so this is the Docker file which will have all the instructions. Docker file contain instruction of building a Docker image, how to build the Docker image. Those instruction will be available on Docker file only. Okay, this is like a text file which is human readable file only. Okay, so if you want to know there are a lot of instructions in the Docker file. If you want to know, you can just refer this document. Okay, just we have these are instruction: add, org, cmd, copy, entry point, env, expose from. These are the instructions we are having. Using this instruction, see, you can see the simple instructions, only these instructions we are having. So using the instruction, we can create a Docker file. Okay, let's see it now. What is the first step? So majorly we will use only these things: from, run, work, dir, copy, and entry point, these stuff. Okay, these instructions. So first instruction, copy. What is sorry, from? Okay, what is from? Okay, you are we need to build our application, right? We need to create the container. So what is container? It is the lightweight OS. Am I right? It is a lightweight OS. So basically, if you want to run any application, then definitely it has to run on any platform which has the OS operating system, right? So what I'm going here, the from, this is the from is the first line. If you take any Docker file, from is the first line. Here we are going to tell to the Docker file, hey, you just build the image on top of this specific OS. So here I'm saying Python 3.9 Alpine. Alpine is a lightweight Linux OS which contains Python. Suppose if I want to build my container on top of Ubuntu, I can mention Ubuntu. Okay, so you can mention, you can have all the, you can find everything in the here actually. So for example, if you want to build your image on top of this Windows, right, then you can mention like this Docker Windows. You can mention like this. Then what will, what happened? Let me copy this. Then what will happen? On top of this specific OS or specific image, our image will be built, right? So whatever you are seeing on the from section, that is called nothing but the lightweight OS. Okay, on after the OS loaded, we are going to say what are the things we needed to run our application. So here I need these mod, the Python modules Flask and Unicorn request by 64. These are the Python modules. Okay, no need to worry about these modules. These are application side. Just I'm telling to you, these are the prerequisites to run my application. So I need to run this command. So if you want to run any command inside the container, right, while building the image, then you need to, you go for run in section. There you need to specify that this command, pip3 command, so that after OS loaded, this will be installed. This command will be run. After that, I'm going to copy this working directory is nothing but inside the OS, which is my application directory. That I need to mention under the work dir section. So here I mention slash app. So slash app will be the folder will be created, and here I'm copying. What I'm copying all the files. So Docker file inside the application. So all the files inside the application folder will be copied to my container. Will copy to in my lightweight OS. Will be copied to in my lightweight virtual machine. Container is nothing but lightweight virtual machine. Okay, I'm copying everywhere. After copying, what is the command, right? What is the command to execute my application? So this is my command, python 3 app is my command. That should be the entry point. Like as soon as container gets created, what should be running, that should be mentioned on the entry point. So as soon as container created, as soon as virtual machine created, automatically this command will get executed, so that my application will be running. Okay, so first let me run the application. See, I'm entering into my application folder here. Forget about the Docker file for now. So how can I run my application? Python 3 and app.py. This is my command to execute my application. See, my application is running now. So if you want to access my application, I can go for this. Okay, this is my application running on my local portal, right? Like that, we want to execute this command while creating the container, right? So that is what I mentioned, Python 3 appy. Okay, now I will build the Docker image locally, and then I will show you all the instruction how it is performing now. Okay, and then I will stop, and then we will discuss. I hope you are able to see my screen. I mean, it's readable, right? Okay. So first we have to enter into the specific path where the Docker file is available. Okay. Now, is it readable? Is it visible?
Yeah, yeah, sir, sure.
Okay. So what is the first command? Docker build hyphen t. This is the command, right? I am having those command in the GitHub repository. See, these are the basic commands: Docker build, and then create and run the container from the Docker image. And if you want to push the container, this is a command: push command, pull command, and tag command. Okay, first we are seeing how to build the Docker image, right? So for the Docker build hyphen t, Docker build hyphen t, and then the image name. Okay, so let's assume I am having Python. Just you need to give the image name. So Python app colon, and you can mention the version here. Okay, version 1. If you don't mention this version, it will take the latest automatically. Okay, and then put dot. Dot is nothing but when you say dot, it is automatically read this Docker file. Okay, suppose if you want to maintain this instruction in different file, then you have to specify uh, the specific file name, whatever it is, something like that. Okay, so here we are mentioning dot so that it will read this Docker file. So Docker build hyphen t, and we have to provide the image name and then dot. Okay, so I'm putting dot because I'm into the application folder where my Docker file is available. Suppose if it is in different folder, you want to provide the relative path, something like this. Okay, okay, dot. See the log now. You can see. Okay. Okay, wait a second. I want to show you in detail. Okay, wait. Actually, I want to show you how it is building. Actually, okay, that what I want to show you guys. But as I'm having already those images, it is. Wait. Let me show you guys. Let me delete all. Okay. Okay. Let me show you in this section. I think it is more readable than that, right? So let me execute here. Docker build hyphen t Python app dot. Okay, somewhere it is already available. Okay, fine. Let's see here. First, it is trying to build the image. Okay, so this is the load metadata for IO Docker IO. Okay, you can see it. Actually, what will happen, right? This Python 3.9 Alpine. It is where it is. It is in our Docker file. Okay, first it will run. This command will run. So what will happen? It will download this image from the docker.io. I mean, it's a Docker hub, right? From there it will download. So that's what happened. After that, as I'm having already internet, it is using my internal thing. Otherwise it will download from the Docker hub. Okay, after that, what is the second command? pip3 install. So everything is cached here. That's the problem, right? So how can I remove everything? If it is not cached, right, you can see all the running commands actually. For example, if I run this command in local, how it is running, right? The same way it will run. Okay, okay, fine, no problem. So you can see here the first command 1/4 means the first command is running. The from one, it is using this Docker image, right? Usually it will download from the Docker app, and second command it will run this command, okay, on my Docker image. After that, it is setting my working directory. After it is copying all the files, okay, and then it is creating image now. Okay, after that, after creating the image, if you type Docker image ls, this is nothing but if you want to see the images on your machine, you can see this is a Python app which we created now. Okay, and suppose if you want to create another image with a different version, just mention version 1, something like that, and then just build it again. And you can see here Docker image ls. You can see two images now. One is for latest, one is for iPhone 1, sorry, version 1. So this is the image which is on my local machine. Just now we have created the image. Any doubt till now? Any doubt? No?
Fine, sir.
You guys understand, right? What is image and how it is building the image. So right now image is in my local machine. Okay, in my local machine. Now I want to run the container. I want to create the lightweight machine, right? For that, what should I do? Docker run, and then you have to specify the port number. For example, I just ran my application here, right? Previously I ran it, right? See here, 8080 is my application port. My application will be working on this specific port. Okay, so I need to specify to the Docker which port should be open. You can see Docker run -p means port. I need to mention host port and container port. Okay, so host port is nothing but uh, container port is nothing but the application port actually. That is 8080. Host port is nothing but you are mapping your to your host port. Okay, so what I'm going to do here, in my host port also I'm just mentioning 8080 so that I can access my application from the host machine using this port. Okay, and what is the real application port? That is 8080. Okay, and then the Docker image, right? So here this is my image. So, and then what is the version? v1. That's it. And then if as soon as you just enter, we got the error. Bind is already in use. Okay, you know why it is? Because already we are running 8080 here, right? Let me end this so that the port will be closed here. Now the 8080 will be available. Now let me run it again. See here, now right now one container got created. This is the container actually. This is the container. Inside the container it is running now. Okay, so let me go to the other command prompt here, other terminal. If you want to see what is the container running right now, you can use docker ps command. You can see this is the container id, this is the virtual machine id. Okay, and this using this image, this container got created, and this is the command which has run at the time of container creation, and it got created 31 seconds ago, and this application should be mapped with, I mean it is mapped with 8080 to 8080. Okay, so now I'm just stopping my container. I'm stopping my virtual machine. I'm just putting Control C. Yeah, it got stopped now. Right? It got stopped now. So now if I go to the here and if I set Docker PS again, see the container, no container is running now. Previously you can see this container ID everything, right? But right now there's no container is running. In VMware you can see everything is virtually, I mean visually, but here you cannot see it. Everything you have to see it in command prompt through the commands. So let me run it again. It is running now. The container is running again. Now if I say PS, yes, you can see it now, right? So how to access your application? Now the container is running. The virtual machine is running. The lightweight OS, the lightweight VM is running. Whenever say lightweight VM, that is nothing but container. For your understanding, I'm just mentioning lightweight VM, okay? But it is a container. Container in a sense, it is containing all everything whatever it is needed, application and the resources, everything, okay? So here it is running now. So now I can access my application through my host IP address. This is my host IP address, right? See, I'm accessing it. I'm accessing. Yes, it is working right now. Where this application running? It is running on my local machine, or it is running on my container.
On the container.
On the container, right? So as soon as I stop the container, I'm just refreshing the screen again. It got stopped because I just killed my container, right? So this is how in real time the container will be working. See, nowadays everything has a micro architecture, right? So everything will be microservices actually, right? So if you see the application architecture, each and every module will be running on separate container. See, if they go for a separate VM, that will be very high cost, right? Instead of that, if they go for no container which will run only the specific module, then it will be easy to handle. Suppose if in future if they want to maintain, if they want to update any specific module, they can touch only the container, no need to touch any other container, right? Yeah, suppose if they want to, if they are running all the models the same virtual machine, then for any upgradation or any downtime, you have to down all the application, right? But if you go for the microservice architecture, which is having the containerized application, you can just down only the module which is needed. No, you no need to touch other modules. So that's how the containers or dockers will be using in the real time. Okay. Okay. So where is my image now? Where is my image? Where is my image actually right now?
Local.
In my local machine, right? In my Docker host machine. See, to work on the Docker, you have to install Docker on your machine. Okay. So I have already Docker installed on machine. So my system will be acting as a Docker host. So here, my system, on top of my operating system, I install Docker software. So my system will acting as a Docker host actually here, Docker host. Okay, on top of Docker, I can run n number of containers, app A, B, C, D, everything I can run it. Okay. So now tell me where my images are available, where my images in my local system, right? But suppose if you want to access my image, will you be able to do it? No. So for that we have centralized repository called Docker Hub, or so many content registries, right? So we have to we have to push there now. We have built it, right? And we have run it. So if you want to push the image, you need to use the Docker push command. Basically it will no take the images and push to your registry. Okay, so for that we have to have the container registry in the in the Azure. There is a service called container registry where you can store the Docker images. So let's create the new container and just provide the registry name, some name. Okay, TerraX. Okay, and then choose your plan. Next, create. See, I advise you just learn this Docker and practice this, because in real time most of the companies they will use Docker only. Okay, if you go for Kubernetes or OpenShift, everywhere Docker will be used. Okay, so we just created the Docker. These are TerraX, and if you go here and under the services repositories, here where we are going to store our images. Okay, so for that, here will be the instruction, right? So if you want to push the images to this .terrax registry, just click here and it will show you the command actually. Not only Azure, if you go for AWS or GCP, everywhere the same concept. They are having the specific command. If you execute the command, that will be pushed to your, the image will push to your registry. Okay, so first we have to do the Azure login, that I have done already. So let me do this command Azure ACR login TerraX. Okay, that I am going to run now. What we are doing now, we are we are trying to push the images which is in my local to content registry. Okay, okay, and then we have logged in, and for pulling the, I mean for pushing, this is the command you have to use it. Okay, first we have to tag it and then we have to execute the push command. Okay, so let me tag it first. Forgot about the pull command. Pull command is nothing but if you want to pull image from registry to local, you can use pull command. But here we are going to push it so that we can use Docker. First we have to tag it actually. Okay, so for tagging, so first we have to tag it. Okay, so tag our what is our application, Python app colon version 1. Okay, and then here we have to specify TerraX. Here where we need to place it our Python app. Okay, so app colon v1. See, I'm tagging this image, this one. Okay, so after tagging only we can push it. Okay, we tagged it. After tagging, you should be able to see this image now. Okay, we are just tagged. Okay, so now if you do docker push and then the image name. Okay, so just push this. The same concept, the same kind of scenario you will use for other cloud service as well. Okay, see now it is pushing now. Okay, the same thing will happen when you are downloading, when you're using from command from installation error. Okay, now it is pushing to our repository, our registry actually. Okay, let's see. Okay, it got pushed. Now let's go and check here. Go to services under repositories. You can see this Python app, right? If you open it, you can see the tag as well. Version 1 that is called, we have no pushed it. So right now we have pushed our images to the content registry. Okay, now if you want to pull, suppose you guys, you want to pull the images, what command you will use? You will use docker pull command. You will use docker pull command, docker pull, and then the specific the path, the terrax dot io something, and then you need to mention the image name, then that will be pulled to your local machine. Okay, maybe for now what I'm going to do, I just want to show you to the pull. So let me delete the images from my local machine. Okay, let me delete everything. See how, what are the images I'm having in my local now? Something called db-backup, my backup, docker, all over the nginx. These are the images I'm having in my local machine, right? Suppose if we want to pull the image from the content registry, what is the command? Docker pull. What is that? Docker pull.
The path.
You see the command here. You can see here itself. Let me check. Okay, fine. But if you go for AWS or GCP, the the specific command will be available. Okay, here they have mentioned general. Okay, it's fine. Let's go for overview, and this is the command, right? Pull command. This is the pull command. Okay, okay. So now this is our Python app version 1. See here, now it is pulling from where? Pulling from that
Registry.
registry. Okay, now if I do docker image ls, you can see here now, right? So this is how it will work. Okay, okay, fine. Now you guys know what is docker, what is docker image, how to build it, how to push it, how to pull it. Let me know if you have any doubt. Now we can go for this architecture. Now we are good to see this architecture. Shall we move? Everything is okay, right? Okay. So whatever we have done here, right? The same thing we are going to do through our code. Okay. So here, how we can run the container here? Docker run hyphen p something, right? Something if 80.80.80, and then what is the container? This is the container, right? So let me run this. The container is running now, and I can access this. Oh, it got ended. Okay, why? I stopped it. It seems okay. Now let's execute. Okay. See here, if I specify 8080, it is not working. Why? Do you know why? If I mention only 80, it is working now. Why? Because I just mentioned 80 here. My container port, sorry, my host port should be 80. It means the application should be accessible through 80 port in my host machine. Okay, that's the meaning of it. Okay, 8080 is the application port. Okay, okay, fine. So now what we can do? See, now we are running application. We are running application. We are able to access our application, right? The same way in the Azure, we are having one service called container app. Containers app is nothing but where we can run our containers as a service here, right? So if you just click container app, so in the registry section, you need to select your container app, your container registry path, and then it will load your things. It will load your images. So you need to select the images. There is no images here. Okay, before that we have to do one thing. Okay, so let me go here. We have to enable under the policy, not settings, access key. We have to enable this admin user so that the third party tool or other can access this. So while pulling or while pushing, they can use this login server, this username, and then this password. Okay, the two password we are having it. Okay, when you do Azure login, automatically it will use your credential. Otherwise you can push or pull using this uh, specific username to pull and push. Okay, this we have enabled now. Now let's go to content registry and create. Okay, let's create real, right? Then you can understand how to do, how we can automate this, right? So let me run this test app something. Okay, and content registry, and we have to create on environment, right, which is having the CPU allocation and memory allocation everywhere. And here where you need to select the specific container registry, and here you need to select the image. So image tag, you need to select it, right? And here the command override, see whatever we are by default, while running the container, while creating the container, by default this command will be running, right? If you want to override this, then you can use these override things. Okay, but we are ignoring it now. And you can specify all your environment configurations, and then in the ingress we need to allow our application from anywhere, and the application should be worked in 8080, right? So I'm just specifying 8080 port number, and then next, and then next, and then we'll create what is create. Okay, so do you know what we are doing here? Do you know what it is doing here? Basically this content wrap, right? We mentioned all the information. What is the content registry, what should be the image, what should be the tag, and how it should be, what should be the port, right? What should be the command, everything we have mentioned while creating the container app. So what will happen at the time of creation, it will pull the Docker image from the registry, and it will run on this specific platform. So using this specific service, you need not to worry about the platform where you are running the container. You just need to concentrate only on your application. You don't need to worry about the platform, right? So that is the advantage we're having in the Azure now, cloud now. Okay. Yes, it got created. No, it's still in progress. Okay, tell me, do you have any doubt till now? We are going to automate this. Whatever we have done now, we are going to automate this. Any doubt till now?
No, Sushman.
Super. Okay. Okay. So let's wait. ಇದೆಲ್ಲತ್ಲೆ ಒಂದು. Okay. Still it is in progress. Why? Let's wait for a few more seconds. It should get completed. Yeah, it got completed. Okay. Then go to container app, and you can see this container app is running now. It is running now. Okay. So if you open this, you will have the specific URL to access your application. See, this is the container. This is the application URL. If you access it, see, using this URL, you are able to access our application. Now, what is happening now? Our container is running on this specific service. Are you getting me? Right? So, if you go to the. See, this is the container information. Actually, it is running this container. Okay, so container details where it is pulling where it is pulling the image and how it is running, how many CPU and memory is allotted to this virtual machine. Everything this container, everything is available here. Okay, so these are it will work. Suppose if you are deploying same thing, then it will create as a revision here that I will show you later. Okay, okay, fine. Now we are going to automate this. Okay, so maybe let me delete this now. Okay, it's not needed now. Okay, fine. So let's see the architecture and let's see the folder structure now. We are having the application folder and infra folder. Okay, under the application folder, we are having all the application code along with the Docker file that you guys already know it. And if you go to the infrastructure folder, we are having the Terraform file, right? So here we are having one variable called app version. Okay, app version we are having it, and in the main.tf we are just pulling the information of the specific resource group to make use of in other blocks. Okay, and this is the container information, container registry information, right? This container should be available already. Okay, so we have created this container. So which container we have to use it? We are going to use Terra X, right? So that name I have mentioned here. So what will happen? This will go to the specific Terra X container, and it will fetch the information, right? Am I right? Here you want to check for the data. Actually, this is the resource block, right? So just check for the data block. Where is the data block? Okay, so here it will fetch the information, and what are the information we will get? ID, login server, admin username, password, endpoint, location, everything we can get it if we read that content registry. For that we are using data block. Any doubt on this? You are good, right?
Yeah.
Okay, and the next thing is we have to create the environment for our container application. Okay, okay, I deleted it actually. Okay, that is the environment which is having the information like the CPU and other information, right? Those information we have to first create it. Okay, so for creating the app environment we are mentioning this, and then okay, okay, fine. So first we have to create the environment, and then we have to create the container app. In the container app you can mention like what is the application name, right? Okay, and then the revision mode. You see, these stuff you will come to know when you understand or when you know about this specific service. Am I right? Only if you know how to create the virtual machine manually, and only if you understand how the virtual machine working, then you should be able to write the code, Terraform code, right? The same way, if you know how the container app is working, then you know all these arguments, right? So maybe right now you make get confused what is revision mode, but that is very simple, but you just go through it. Okay, revision mode is nothing but it's like revision. You can create no on top of the same application the many revisions. Okay, it's kind of redeployment, but just ignore it that for that now. Okay, just concentrate the automation part alone now. Okay, so we are mentioning the container app ID and resource group name, and here we are mentioning the secret. It is nothing but to pull the image. Basically the container app should pull the image and should create the container, right? For that we are using this username and password for the container. Okay, so basically if you go to the container registry, right, that I showed you just now, but let me show you again. If we go to the secret, here this is the username and password, right? This should be used no to pull the image and to create the container. So for that we are using this one specific one. Okay, the password and then login server name and admin username, everything we are fetching from this Azure container registry here, from this one, from this data block, right? So it will pull all the information. So it will pull this is a login server name, and this is a username, and this is a password, right? This will be pulled here and it will be used, and this is the ingress block where we need to mention the application port number and all. Okay, and this is where we need to mention our container image path. Okay, so here I mentioned the container image path. The container name is the container name, you can mention anything, that's not an issue, but image should be the proper. So here what it means, dollar app version, what it means? Okay, here we should mention the proper image path, right? So what is our container name? It's a TerraX. So let's use TerraX then. Okay, TerraX. Okay, here we use TerraX, and image TerraX. Okay, okay. This is the okay. This is not the registry path. This is the app path. Okay, our application. We are going to create application with this name. So let it be. So just tell me what it is. Just I'm asking in Terraform perspective.
It's a variable. I mean, we will.
It's a variable, right? We are just calling the variable. So that's why we are having this variable here, right? So do we have any value to the variable by seeing this?
No, we don't have any value.
You don't have anything. Then it will ask the value at the runtime, right? If there is no default value, then it will ask at the runtime, right? How will you overwrite the variable? How will you provide the value to the variable at the runtime? Anyone? Anyone, please? How will you provide the value to the Terraform variable at the runtime? No,
All right. What will it be about?
we will use hyphen var, right? Hyphen var, and then we can provide the variable name and we can provide the value. That's how you will use it, right? I will show you that. Okay, 1 second. So this is the image, and we need to pull it. So what is the image? Okay, this is the image. Terra hyphen app is the image we are going to build it now. Okay, fine. Okay, fine. Okay, any doubt on this specific one? We are going to pull this specific image, specific version, and specific Terra hyphen app is the image name. We are going to build it. Okay, we are not at build and push it, but in future we are build it and push it with this name Terra hyphen app. Okay, and with this app version. Okay, okay, fine. If I say Terraform, let's say init, let me check whether I'm having the container. Okay, 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 fine. For now, let me block this backend. Okay, let's say Terraform plan. Why? Okay, 1 second. See, it is asking value, right? That is the purpose why I'm not given value. I just pass the value at the runtime so that we can run no multiple deployment. Okay, with the different versions. Okay, so here if I provide the value, it will work, right? But how will you provide the value at the runtime? Hyphen var equal to what is the variable name? App version, app underscore version equal to provide something value. Then it will work. right? Am I right? Okay,
Okay,
but
yeah.
if I do this, it will not work because the specific container does not have this application. Okay, so I need to first push it. First, we need to build the image and push the image, and then we need to do it. Okay, so all these things we will do through pipeline now. So let's create the pipeline now. Let me enable this backend. TF state is the storage container. So let me create this first. Okay, fine. Okay, done. So let's create the pipeline, Azure pipeline. Okay. So what is the first step? First, we need to mention the trigger point, right? So I need to run when there is something should be pushed to the main branch. Okay, and then where it has to run, it has to run my default pool. Okay, the default agent. So let me run the agent here. Okay, I'm running my agent here. Okay, good. I hope you already know this. Okay, so I should run my agent on my local machine, and then we are going to create the stages, right? So stages, we can create multiple stages. Okay, so one stage, first stage, we are going to create for reading the application version. So what we are going to do, we are going to have one file called app-version. Okay, let me change this. Static. One. Okay, we are going to have this app version in here so that we can, based on this version, our deployment will happen. So okay, for that I'm having this app-version. So every deployment it will read this app version, and this app version will be used to tag the image and push to the container registry, and we will create the container out of the image. Are you getting me? What I'm saying here is, see, this is the container registry. Okay, and here we are having the images. Where it is, we are having images here, right? What is the version? Here it is version 1. Tag is nothing but we are versioning the image. Okay, v1. In future, I'm just updating or fixing some bug, right? And then again I need to build the image from the new application code, right? And then I have to push it. Okay, for while pushing it, I have to mention the different version so that I can have some difference, right? After pushing with version 2, I need to create the container using version 2 image. Am I right? For that, I'm going to dynamically have the version here in the automation in using pipeline. That's why I'm having this app hyphen version number. Okay, so the concept is, we are going to fetch this version from this file, and we are going to use this version to build the image. How to build the image? How to build the image? Docker build hyphen t, and then image name, and then colon, we are mentioning a tag that is called version, right? v1, v3, or v4, whatever it is. This v1, v4, I'm going to fetch the value from this specific text file, and then I'm going to use this as a version, and then I will push the image. Are you getting me or not? I will stop here. Is it confusing, or are you guys okay? It is something like overloaded, is it?
That versioning alone, I can understand that versioning, but here we are, how we are configuring here, that needs to be.
That we will see here. Okay. See, this is what we are going to do. What is the first? First, we have to read the version. Why you need to read the version? Because the image, the image version should be different, right? Because the image is holding application code. So for that, first I need to read the version so that I can build the image using the version, use the specific version, right? After that, I can deploy I can deploy the application in the container app using that version, so that I can have the latest application running on my container. Are you getting me? These are the steps we are going to do now. Is it clear now? We will see how to read it in the all, but just I want to understand whether this logic you got it. Reading version, building using version, and deploying using version. Everyone is clear.
Yes, right. So it will read the versions and automatically it will pick the latest version and build it. Right.
Exactly. That's what we designed, right? Now
Okay.
we are going to think logically, and we are going to write the code. That's it. Very simple. Just everything is idea, right? Once you get the idea, you just need to implement it. That's it. Okay. So these are our idea. So we'll see how to implement this. Okay. Okay. So the first stage, we have to read the application version. Okay. For that, so usually the stage will have the jobs actually, right? So let's give some display name. Okay. Okay. And then the jobs, the every stages will have the number of job, right? For this, the job name we will give something like app question. Okay. Okay. The job will have number of steps. So here we are going to create the, here we are going to read the file. So just I'm writing the small shell script. Okay. Where for reading the file we can use cat command, right? For the cat command, where you need to know read the file. Normally once while running, it will download everything, the entire content. See, okay, okay, first we have to store this in our repository first. Okay. So pipeline will we will create repository, and we will push it to the repository. So while running, the repository content will be downloaded into build sources sources directory, right? So in that, I need to enter into my, okay, here enter into this app. This is the file I need to read it. Okay. Okay, now I just read the file, and the data will be loaded into content variable. Okay, this is a simple shell script. Okay, and for the runtime variable, these are we should use. Let me show you this. Okay, let me explain this. Wait a second. Variable equal to, okay. See, normally in Azure pipeline, what are the variables you guys know till now? You know, user defined variable, right? Where we can mention under the variable section. Am I right? And predefined variable, that is inbuilt variable by the Azure, right? And then what is that? Library variables, where we can store our variables in the library, right? You guys remember um, these things? This is a
Yes.
variable section. We have seen it in previous classes. In the variable section, we can mention our variable names and all, right? But there is one more variable, that is a runtime variable. Runtime variable, in a sense, while running the pipeline, something you want to know, some value if you want to uh, pass to other stages or other jobs or other shapes, right? Then you have to use a runtime variable. For example, if I mention variable block here, and if I mention something called my name equal to Terraform, then this my name can be used in all the steps, all the stages, right? This is the predefined value, right? But in some cases, there is the at the runtime only we will come to know the value. At the time we have to use the runtime variable. So to you to no to declare runtime variable, this is the syntax: slash slash vso, and then what is that, square bracket, task set variable. You need to mention some output variable name. If you want to take this output into other stages, you have to mention true. And here where you need to mention the value of the variable. This is a syntax, just a syntax, just no but use it, that's it. No need to have the deep analysis. This is a syntax, just make use of it, that's it. Okay, all you need is you need to have the idea how we are going to automate it, that's it, right? Okay, so you can see the same thing I have done this. VSO task set variable dot variable. Okay, it's not dot. Okay, it's a space. Okay, set variable space variable equal to the out variable name, and then the content. The content, this is the content which will have my app version name. Any doubt till now? Any doubt? Now if I call my variable version is content, okay, it will, and we are going to give some name to our step. This is step name. Okay, here read app version. Any doubt till now? We will, what we will do, we will just no create the new repository and push it first. Okay, new repository. This is a Python container app. This is our repository name. Create, clone it. Just cloning my repository. And what I'm going to do, let me open the repository in the VS Code now. Okay, desktop. This is my repository, which is having only this file, right? So now let's copy everything to our container app. From here onwards, we will write the code. Okay. Okay. Till now we have write the code. Okay. Right now we will push this to our repository. Git add, git commit. Okay, done. Now uh, our repository is having our all the content, the application code and then infrastructure code. Everything is there. The Python we are still writing it. Okay. 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 Now what is the next step? What is the next step? Can anyone? What is the next step? We have to build the image. Okay, for the pull request. Okay, so for that I'm going to write another stage. This is Docker image build and push. This stage is also having n number of, I mean, you can have n number of jobs and steps, right? The first job we will build and push. Okay, and then here where we are going to declare the variables. Why? I mean, the variables you can declare on the for entire pipeline or specific job or specific stage, wherever you can know specify this variable section. Okay, so here I'm going to declare one variable. Okay. Okay, now app version is my variable. Now how to call the variable, or call the value which is on other stage. That is what you can see, a syntax to get runtime variable value in other stages or other jobs or other steps, right? So this is the suppose if you want to call the variable from other stage, then you have to use stage dependencies. This is exactly you need to use the same, and stage name and job name and output, and then here the step name and then output variable name. Suppose you want to call from other job, then you have to use dependency. That's it, dependency, and then job name and output, and then step name, the step name, not script name, step name and output variable name. To call output variable from other steps, then you have to use the step name dot out variable name. That's it. Okay, so what is the step name here? Okay, let's consider only this thing. Okay, I know you guys, it is very difficult to understand this pipeline, even though you understood in the previous classes. Only by practice only you can familiar on this. Okay, I'm just trying to refresh you or trying to make you understand a little bit more. So please cooperate with me. I just selected the, I have highlighted something, right? In this, can you tell me what is the stage name? What is the stage name?
Read up,
Read up
read application version.
application version.
Super, super. What is the job name?
Data
Data
version.
version.
Super. What is the step name? Here a step
Read up
started.
version. Read up version.
Read up, super. Okay, suppose if you're using another step, you can mention something like dash something, right? So here you can mention echo. I am another step. Okay, so for this you can provide some name. Okay, step two, something like that. Are you getting me now? This is one step, and this second step, right? Super. Now we okay. Now this is one stage, and this is another stage. Now, do we want to read the variable from job or step or stage?
From stage, right?
Some stage, right? If you want to read from stages, we have to specify stage dependencies. After that, stage name, job name, and then step name. That's it. That is simple, right? So let's use this. This is syntax. Stage dependencies. Dependencies. Okay, and then dot, and then stage name. Dot, and then job name, and then dot output, and then step name, and then the variable name. What is the variable name here? This is the variable name. Okay, so this is the variable name. That's it. Now what will happen? What will happen now?
That
This
will be
will be
called here.
replaced, whatever the content we are reading it, right? That will be replaced here, and that will be stored under app version. The scope of variable is within this job. Okay. Okay, now we are going to, okay, okay, now we are going to the job will have the steps, right? So let's have the steps. Oh, the first step. Okay, okay, here we just ensure whether we are able to read the, we're able to read it or not. Okay, how will you call the variable usually? Dollar, within the braces you will see it. Okay, you will read it. This is how the syntax in Azure pipeline. Okay, and then for this we can provide them name, something display version. Okay, fine. The next step. So how did you push the image from your local machine to the content registry? How do you do that? You ran this docker build command, and you ran this, you tag it, and then you push it. Am I right? The same thing we are going to do it now. See, this is the one. This is a simple shell script. I mean, it's not shell script, just it is a command. So first we have to log into Azure. So log into container registry. Is it TerraX? Let me check. TerraX. Yes, TerraX. Okay. Uh, okay. And then we need to build it, right? We need to build it using this app name and version 1. Okay. So here where we need to change here. So this version 1, right? This should be dynamic. Am I right or wrong? See, at the very first time it is okay to hard code, but at the next time, if you want to build with a new image with a different version, and then again I cannot go to each and every time I cannot modify the pipeline. So it has to be dynamic. Am I right or wrong?
Yes.
That's why we have this variable. That's why we are reading this app version. Are you getting me now? So let me tell me how to replace a variable here. Dollar,
Where that, okay, dollar.
not dot. This is, see, we are writing pipeline, not Terraform, right?
Okay,
We are writing pipeline, not Terraform. So app version here where our the variable which will contain the version. So I'm just using it. Okay. So just use this is everywhere. Okay, we are logging in and we are building it. See, for building, what I did here, the application. Okay, here that is on. Okay, here we need to specify the source folder, right? So this is our source folder. Here where the content, our code will be downloaded, the repository content will be downloaded. So it should be this one. Like after this, I'm just entering application. In that, I'm just calling dot means Docker file, right? Are you getting me? This line, and we are tagging it. Okay, and then we are pushing it. Job is done. We have pushed the Docker image now. Just give some name to this push image. Any doubt on this? What is the next step? We have to deploy it. Okay. So what I'm going to do, instead of deploy, I'm going to run the Terraform plan now. Okay. So stage. Okay, and then display name. I hope you guys are following me, right?
Yes.
Okay, and then okay, let's and then stages will have steps. Sorry, what is that? Oh, jobs, right? Jobs will have the steps actually. So first job, Terraform plan. Okay, and then here I'm going to use for this job steps script Terraform plan. If I do Terraform plan, will it work or not? Yeah, I may take like 15 minutes more. Okay, please be with me. We will complete this. Okay, it will be very interesting one. Also, you can learn this stuff again. Okay, even though we have seen in the last session. So please be with me for last 30 minutes. Okay. Okay, tell me, if I run the Terraform plan, will you be able to, will this run or not? I'm asking. I'm entered into infra. Okay, first we need to enter into infra, right? So just do the same thing here. First we have to go to infra infra folder. We are entering into infra folder. From there we are running here. Okay. Now we enter into infra. Now if I do Terraform plan. Okay, if I run Terraform plan, it will prompt or not? Will it prompt for something?
Yeah.
Because we are having some variables here, right? It is not having any value. Then how can we how to mention hyphen var equal
Hyphen
to
or
app underscore version. This is what the app, this is what this version app underscore version is a variable name equal to v1. The value you have to provide, the version we have to provide, right? Am I right or wrong?
Yeah, Srishka.
Why we are mentioning the var? Because while creating the container, it has to create from the specific version. Here we have used our variable in the Terraform, so we have to pass a value to here. For that for that we have to, it has to be dynamic one. Then what is that? App version. Okay, now tell me, will it work or not? We declared variable section in the stage docker image build push. I'm asking, if I use that specific variable which is on this stage here, will it work or not? I'm into valid Terraform plan.
I think it will work.
It will,
Yeah, it will work.
it will work. Okay, it won't work. See, we specify the variable here, the scope of this variable end within this job itself. You cannot call this. So what we have to do, we have to call this variable again in this specific stage. Okay, maybe under the plan you can call, or under the stage you can call it. It's your wish. Okay, so maybe we are calling under here. Got it now? Now we can use it. Are you getting me or not?
Okay, Srishka.
Super la? Okay, fine. Now this will work, right? So for this we will give some name, the step name. This is Terraform plan. Okay, good. Then the next stage, that is the deployment, right? Deploy container app. Okay, and give some display name. And here we are going to have the jobs will have a number of job. Terraform apply, the job will have the variables, because here for here also we you need to use the same, right? So I will use the variables here, right? And then I need to use the same here, shapes shapes scripts. Instead of plan, I'm going to apply, and then auto approve, right? Clear? Clear? That's it, our job is done now. Okay, now we have the code, we have the entire code for all the deployments. We have written code for these steps, these stages. We are good now. Okay, we will push it now. Okay, before pushing, okay, we push it now. Okay, so git add. Okay, done. So now let's go to the repository and check it out. The pipeline is having all our content. It's good. Okay, okay, fine. Now let's come to this specific topic. Pipeline we have created, okay, but while running the pipeline, the building the docker image and pushing the docker image to the container registry, it will happen only on the pull request. The deployment should happen only on the merge request. How will you differentiate now? How will you make it happen now? For now, this code does not have anything, right? We are just simply return everything, so that whether it is pull request or merge request, every all the stages will be running. Am I right or wrong? Am I right?
Yes, Suresh. Yes.
So now we
Yes.
have to segregate that, right? So for that, the docker push and this one, right? This one should run only on the pull request. So we are going to create the condition. These things we are already seen on our last class, right? So in the condition, how will you use the condition? This is the expressions, right, in Azure. So equal variables, right? And then here we need to use the predefined variable system variables. Okay, build dot reason. Why we are building it? The reason automatically the Azure will figure it out. Okay, and here if the reason is pull request, then we can run it. Okay, I hope you remember these things, right? Let me try to show you again. See, for the build, if you use this build reason, you will come to know whether this trigger happened using pull request or manually, or any resource, or individual CS, so many things, right? So or scheduler, so many things. So here, if it is through pull request, if the build reason is equal to pull request, then this specific stage will run. Getting me? And what will happen? And then this also that the validation also should run only on the pull request. That's how we are designing it now. Okay, okay, fine. I'm just then what about this one, the read application version? Should it read, should the stage will run only for the pull request or the merge request as well? Just think of it. The specific stage should run only for the pull request or only for the merge request, or you should run for both. It's okay, right or wrong, just
It's
have
for both.
both. Super. Why? Because for the pull request also, we need this version, app version, for the building image or running the Terraform plan. And for deploying also, we need this version, right? So that's why it should run for both. Then in the situation, the condition should be always okay. Okay. And then, but this deploy will happen only on the merge request. Something is pushing to the merge request, right? For that, the condition should be variables. It should be for what source branch it is. So source branch, if it is for main branch, if it is for main branch, then it should run. Okay. Okay, fine. We have done the conditions. Now we have to do one more thing. Basically, this read this build or I mean the Docker image build and push stage is depends on this first stage. Am I right or wrong?
Yeah.
Right. So then we have to do that. We have to specify depends on section here. Okay, depends on. See, in the Terraform also we have this depends on, right? The same scenario here. So there is one argument called depends on. So here we have to mention it this specific state depends on this stage. So we have to specify this. That's it. Job is done. Okay. We have to specify this everywhere now. So Terraform plan, okay, Terraform plan depends on this one. Actually, it depends on these two stages. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to make it as a list, read version as well as this Docker image. So it depends on these two stages, okay, and then this depends on, where is that, this depends on read version. Okay, we are done. Okay, fine, we are done with the pull request. Now you guys are going to guide me. What I did, I just pushed my code to the main branch directly, right? But it should happen only, only at the time of pull request. In the real time, no one can push the code to the main branch directly, right? Then how will you restrict? We have seen it many times. Can anyone tell me how can we restrict the people to push the code to main branch directly? If some people wants to push something to the main branch, then that has to go to the pull request process. How to make it happen? Do you remember?
Authorization.
Authorization? No. Do you know the branch policy? Right? You have to go to the branch policy and then enable the branch policy for your main branch. Just have this minimum required approvers. Okay, done. Okay, it is done. Now I cannot push this directly to the main branch. Let us try. Let us try something. Oh good, I changed something here, right? But I forgot to push it. Okay, fine, it's okay. Let us try now. Oh no. First let me remove this branch policy. Where is the branch policy? Okay, wait a second. Okay, wait a second. Let me explain you. Okay, now we will enable this. We enable the branch policy now. Okay, okay, fine. Now I just making some changes here, something like that, and then I'm trying to add this. It is getting rejected. Why? Because we have enabled the branch policy. Do you guys remember we have seen this in Azure repository classes session? Do you guys remember this?
Yeah, yeah, sir.
Okay, so it is telling you must go through the pull request process, right? Okay, so let me remove this. Okay, fine. So now then we have to create the branches now, right? So let's create the branch. Let's say future one and create. Okay, now git fetch and then git branch. You are into main branch, git checkout future one. You are checking out to git checkout future one. Okay, now you are into feature one branch. Okay, fine. Now if I raise a pull request, right, let me change something here. Let me change something here. um, let's say I'm changing the version number. Okay, something I'm changing v1 or something like that. Okay, and I am pushing this to our repository. I pushed it to my here version 1. Okay, but if you go to the main branch, it will be this one. Okay, okay, fine. Now how will you raise a pull request? Anyone can guide me? We are going to complete in few minutes. Please guide me how to raise a pull request.
Docker
One,
pull.
two, three, four. What tell me again. Go ahead, go ahead. You are getting confused. You are getting confused
Sorry.
with Docker pull and this pull request. We are talking. We are now Azure repo. Okay,
Pipeline.
go to pull request and create the pull request. Right here, you can see what are the files has been modified. Right, and you can approve it. Just create the pull request, and someone will approve it. Just approve it, and then complete this. Merge it. Job is done. Right, if you go to the files and if you go to the main branch, and if you open the app version, it is got updated. Right, but something is missing here. Why the pipeline is not getting triggered? Our
Trigger is not automatic, right?
what is that?
Trigger is not automatic.
No, we have trigger point here, you can see here.
Okay.
Trigger is main, so something is pushing to the main branch, that the application, the pipeline should run, right? There are two things
Correct.
we are missing here. If you go to the pipeline, we have not created the pipeline yet, right?
Correct.
So just create the pipeline, new pipeline, Azure repository. Select the one and the existing pipeline, and choose your pipeline file. Create, save. As of now, I'm just saving it. Okay, and go to our pipeline. We will name it as, where is our pipe? This is our pipeline. Okay, we will name this. Uh, we will rename this. So container deploy pipeline, something like that. Okay. Okay, fine. Yes, we have a pipeline now. Everyone agree with me? We have a pipeline in pipeline section. Yes? Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now what I am going to do, I'm going to change this to something called to. Okay. Git add, git commit, git push. I'm just pushing to my future branch. Go to repository and go to future branch. Yes, it is available as version 2. Go to pull request. I am raising a pull request from future to main branch. It has to be merged. Just creating it and approving it and completing a merge. It is done now. If I go to the file and in the main branch, you should be able to see the updated version. Again, we are missing one part. What is that? We have the pipeline, but pipeline is not triggered. Oh, it got triggered. Oh, it got triggered for the merge request. Okay, not for the pull request. It got triggered. See, I just opened it. It got triggered only for the merge request, not for the pull request. Are you getting me? Let me do it again. Three. From now onwards, you should not forget this one. That's why I'm just no, I'm just keep on no keep in loop here. So git and git, what is that? Git add, git commit, nothing to commit. Okay, git push. Okay, so now go to repository. I'm just checking my future branch. It's version 3. It is version 3. Go to pull request. I'm raising pull request. This is the file got modified. I'm just create the pull request. I just created it. As per our design, as per our logic, the pipeline should get triggered, but nothing is getting triggered. Do you know why? That is what my question. Usually it should get triggered, right? Am I right or wrong?
Yes.
Okay. So to pipeline get triggered, what we have to do, go to, okay, let me approve this and then merge this, then let's do the configuration. So if you go to that branch policy, right? The branch policy, there is one section called build validation. You have to configure this. So here, which pipeline you need to run? This Azure content deploy pipeline that has to run for our PR request. Okay, just save it. That's it. Now what will happen? If there is any pull request, this Azure container deploy pipeline will get triggered for our every pull request. You guys forgot, right? Now I'm just uh, covering everything whatever you have seen for the Azure DevOps. Okay, we will complete in 10 minutes. Please be with me. Okay. Okay, now let's trigger the pipeline. So now I'm going to 0. Okay, this is my version. I'm going to add it, push it, and go to the repository and go to pull request and create the pull request. Okay, see, this is the v1.0.0. That is the version we are changing it now. Okay, and create pull request. Now you cannot merge it. Unexpected value on the line number 14. What is the error with the line number 14? It is spelling mistake, right? Always I am doing spelling mistake. Condition. Okay, so let's push it again. Now the pipeline will get triggered. Okay, go to the pipeline and it is getting failed again. Line number 63. 63. Unexpected value. What is that unexpected value? Equal to variables build dot source branch comma ref underscore. It's correct only. Okay, 1 second, guys. Let me fix this out. Line number 14. First we'll fix line number 14. Oh, we have not. Okay. Okay. Condition line number 63. Here also spelling mistake, huh? Okay. So
Maybe we pushed the code to the future branch, right? Not to the main branch.
yeah.
That is one.
So we will execute this again. Now we'll go to the pipeline and check. Okay. Yeah, it is running now. Okay, for the pull request, it is running now. Let's see here. Okay, let's give the permission. Okay, see here. Is my agent running? Let me check this out. Yeah, it is running now. Okay, fine. So check this out. So we have four stages, right? Read application, Docker image build, validate Terraform, and deploy container. As we are dependency, it is showing like this. Okay, so the read application version is completed now. Now the building image is doing now. Yeah. So let me go here, and it is the first job, and the second step, and here the building is happening. Let's check it out. Okay, here the pushing images. See here, this is what I want to try to show you. If you see here, see the first command, it is building, it is pushing the images. See, everything is running here. You can see here, right? All the instructions, the Docker instructions, right? And then it is pushing to the repository. Yes, this is done, but we got error on the Terraform plan. What is the error on the Terraform plan? Terraform init is missing. Okay, fine. Okay, now we have built the image, right? The pushing is happened, right? So let's check this out. Go to container app, not container app, container registry, and go to this TerraX, and go to repositories. You see this Python, what is app name? The Terra-app is our app name, right? That got pushed here. The version is 1.0.0, right? The push has happened. Are you getting me? So for the Terraform init, right? That we missed it out. So here we will execute. So Terraform init. Here also we have to execute Terraform init. Okay, we will do it. We will push it again. Are you guys able to follow me? I'm
Yes.
yeah, I'm just taking a little bit effort to make you understand. Please understand this, okay? So let us go to pipeline again. Again, this will get triggered. Do you know why it is getting triggered? Keep on when I'm pushing. Do you remember that? Because the pull request is already open. The pull request still open, right? As long as this pull request open, whenever you're doing the update on the same pull request, then it will keep on no until you get success. It will keep on trigger it. Okay, okay. See here, it got skipped out. You can see the script. Why it got skipped? That deploy Ashokan got skipped. Why? Why? Anyone know why it got skipped? What is the condition here? What is the condition here? Something has to merge with the main branch, then only this specific stage will get executed, right? So condition is false here. It is just a pull request. That's why it got failed, or it got skipped, right? Okay. Now the validation is successful. After successful, then you should be able to merge it, right? Yes, all the checks are completed. Build is succeed here. So now we should be able to approve it and then merge it. Complete. Now again one pipeline will get triggered now for the merge request. Let's see. See, one more pipeline got triggered. Again it is reading the version, but now in this stage these two tasks will get skipped. Only this stage will get executed. You can see why these get skipped now,
Because they
because
already
those
completed
are only the pull request,
pull
right?
request.
So we are handling everything using the single pipeline. We are not having the separate pipeline for pull request or merge request. We are handling everything in a single pipeline, right? So okay, so let's open and check it out. Okay, so Terraform apply is happening now. Yes, it's creating the environment. Let's wait. After the successful completion, we are going to change something on the code, and we are going to deploy another revision, I mean another deployment. Okay, so for that I will show you again, I mean the same deployment, only we are going to change the version and we are going to deploy it. Let's see how it is working. That's why we are having this app version actually. Okay, let's wait for a few more minutes. Already one guy left, I think. I don't want to lose you as well. Let's complete. Still it is creating. Yes, it is done, right? So now let's go to the registry container app, and this is the app which we got created just now. And just to open this, you should be able to see our application running. Yes, now in future something you we modify the application code, right? Something you modify here. Let me modify this. Something I'm modifying here. Where mm, okay, index.html. Okay, so here I'm modifying something. Let's assume I'm just modifying something. Okay, some v.3 something. Right now it is working on version 1.0. I'm just modified. Okay, and then I'm modifying the version as well. Okay, now let me go to and show you the registry as well. In the TerraX, if you go to the repository, you should be able to find out only one version for now. Sorry, Terra app, right? So Terra app, if now you can see only one version, right? Now we have changed something on the application side, and I'm just pushing it, and I'm raising a pull request. Now pipeline will get triggered. Now it is reading the latest version, and it will build the application using this latest version number, so that we can have some differentiation. Or getting me. Now Docker build is happening. So here is nothing. We have some comments, right? I should log in. Those comments is happening, and yes, it is pushing. It is pushing. Yes, it got pushed. Now let's go and check here. Let me refresh. You can see version 3.0 got pushed out. Now we can build the application, we can update our application using this image, right? So let us check whether it is completed. The pipeline is still running. Let's wait. See, until it's run, you cannot merge it actually, right? So we'll wait for this. You can see the plan, you can validate the plan. Actually, you can see the plan here. Here, this is the one. This image is going to update like version 3.0. Are you getting me? Are you getting me? No? Yes?
Yes, yes, yes.
So let's approve it and then merge it, and we are going to end the session as well in few seconds. I am trying to hold you guys. That's it. Once it's done, we can wind off. Okay. It got script. Now deployment is happening. It will get deployed soon. Wait, wait, wait. So in today's class we have covered so many things, right? We have not learned something new, but we have refreshed so many things in the proper way. Am I right?
Yes, Rish.
Yes, yes.
Thank you. Okay, yeah. So here this is what happening. New revision is getting built now. Let's say something is modifying. So if you go to real time, you will get a bit more complicated. Complicated is nothing. Just idea only. Okay, right now we are having idea like we are going to read the content from the app version file like that. Just you have the idea, just implement it. That's it. Just you need to know how to read the variable, how, what is stage, what is job, how Terraform behave. If you know the basic, you can do any complicated things, right? So it's done now. Now let's go to our application, right? This is our application, and if you see here, application container. Okay, what is that? It's not loading. Go to overview. Let me refresh the same URL again. See here, the new application is running now. The updated application version is running now, right? Because of the latest image, right? So that's what we want to show here, but somehow it's not listed here. But you got it right. That's it. Like that now in real time you can now create the pipeline and all this stuff. So tomorrow we will see the Terraform enterprise. Okay, okay then. If you don't have any doubt, we can wind up today. So we have achieved this stuff. Are you getting me? The approved request and merged request, and then user is accessing the application using that URL, and we have done the job,
இல்ல
right?
இந்த யாமல் கோடிங் அப்படியே கொஞ்சம் ரெப்போல போடுங்க.
Yes, yes, yes. It is already available. G, நீங்க போய் பாருங்க இங்க.
ஓகே ஓகே. இல்லை இல்லை
நான்
நான்
வந்து
பார்க்கல.
கிளாஸ் எடுக்கிறதுக்கு முன்னாடி everything will be available. See here.
இல்லை இதை நான் பார்க்கலைங்க.
Okay, okay, okay. No problem. Actually, whatever the session we are taking or covering, everything is available on the device. You can go ahead and check it anytime. Okay. Okay then.
ஓகேங்க.